Joining us now on the MARR Army Rock Show. Very excited to have Blue Rising with us. They're a band. If you listen to the show regularly, you know I've been following for a while. They're out of Bloomington, Indiana. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
So, as bands go, you guys are a fairly new band starting back in about 2010. Can you take me just through a little bit of the 4-year journey that was, from you guys getting together to putting out your debut album?
Well, yeah, we got together in 2010. This is Austin Brink, the lead vocalist, by the way. I met Luke in his rehearsal space in Bloomington. I was practicing with another band, actually, one that I only rehearsed with them one time, actually, and I immediately just started practicing with Luke afterward, more or less, and we just kind of hit it off, and we've been together ever since.
Now, what were some of the toughest hurdles getting through that 4-year journey? You form a new band, and I'm sure you guys have been in other bands before. What were some of the biggest hurdles getting to releasing that first album?
Well, we actually were in the studio for quite some time. We won a battle of the bands in 2010, in the fall of 2010, and we won some free studio time in a local recording studio. And that only bought us about, I don't know, probably 10, 15 hours. And it takes a lot longer than 15 hours, but it kind of whet our appetite, and we decided that we really wanted to do, a full-length album, and we're all perfectionists, so anything short of perfect in our minds was basically unacceptable, and we didn't have that much money, so we were lucky enough to have we developed a pretty close friendship with the owner of that studio, which is Midwest Audio Recording, and Richmore Purgo. And he worked with us, and we were able to produce our first album there with him, but it did take just about 2 years from the time all the music was written and the recording process had began to actually release the album.
Now, seriously, because I can gush about you guys, and I interview a lot of bands. I'm thoroughly impressed with your music and your songwriting abilities. Now, your first music video is out. Tell us a little bit about that, where it was shot, and how you picked the song.
Well, Holy Wars is a song that's on our second EP that is actually going to be released for digital distribution on January 13th of this year, and we decided that an abandoned church would probably make the most sense in the context of in the lyrical content. So basically I got online. I was like abandoned church, did just a Google search and found one in Indiana that had actually been used for filming parts of Transformers 3 and Pearl Harbor and Nightmare on Elm Street. And there's pictures all over it online. It's called City Methodist Church in Gary, Indiana, which sort of has a reputation for not being the safest area. But
yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, but we were lucky enough to have some people come along with us and sort of act as security while we were there. And a very, very good friend of ours, Robert Stouffer, was our videographer. So the band and Robert all, were able to focus on recording while, our security guys kind of kept an eye on things for us. But it was a beautiful space, and we were really, really happy to be able to film there.
Hey, so you mentioned, it set the lyrics kind of matched, having it in a church was perfect. I noticed, is there a theme to your music about, I don't know, it almost seems like a lot of your songs are about change, growth, and starting over. I think of songs like Paradigm, and even Indecision sounds a little bit like a growth theme. Is that a theme or no? Is it something else?
I suppose it is a theme, albeit subconsciously. When I write lyrics, I guess I just sort of start with what I am thinking or going through, or what I observe in the world, and kind of just go from there. I guess not an intentional theme throughout all the music, but I guess now that you say that, that tends to hold true throughout most of the lyrics of all the songs. With regard to Holy Wars, obviously there's a lot going on in the Middle East right now and here at home regarding radical terrorist groups, and I guess I just watched enough Al Jazeera to be moved to write that song.
So, hey, one of the things style-wise I really like about your band is the many emotion changes within each song. You know, it seems like each song is not just a fast-in-your-face song or a ballad. There's a lot of kind of a journey in each song. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of bands like Chevelle and 10 Years. Talk a little bit about what motivates that change style in your songs.
Well, Luke and Austin here actually met the guys from 10 Years a couple months back, and we actually just absolutely love the band 10 Years, as well as Coheed and Cambria, Alter Bridge, and then, you know, more classic rock, you know, Black Sabbath, Rush, and you find a lot of those dynamic changes in those bands as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think that comes just from our influences.
So talk a little bit about the decision to release an EP like almost immediately after the full-length album. That's kind of an unusual thing for a band. What's sparking that?
Well, it kind of goes back to the fact that, you know, throughout the 2-year process of recording our debut album, we had already written most of the music for our second album, and a subset of that is included on our EP, and we released our debut album this summer, 2014, and we decided shortly after we released the album that we just needed to just blast full speed ahead, and we're already planning on releasing our second album, hopefully this coming summer in 2015. We just kind of feel an urgency to put out as much content as we can, because really above all else, we see ourselves as musicians and artists, and sure we understand that there's kind of a life cycle process to these albums we need to go and play out and promote, and we do a lot of that, but we've got a lot of music in us, and we just want to get it to as many people as possible as quickly as we can.
Now, another thing I like about your band is the actual songwriting abilities that you guys have. Now, do you guys write collaboratively or individually? In other words, are you in the same space when you're writing, or do people bring in different things from out of the blue?
Well, it really varies. But I think pretty much every song we've written has been approached in kind of a different way. You know, there'll be times when some of the parts are written together, and sometimes it'll be parts that really any of us have kind of brought into the mix, and we just kind of go from there, piece it together, and kind of feel out what's working and what isn't, and you know, every song is different.
So let me talk to whoever. I don't want to ask this question to Austin, the singer. I want to ask it to one of the other guys. So, Austin, I think you're a great singer, and I'm just curious what the other band members think about you. I kind of was trying to think, this guy reminds me of somebody, but I couldn't put my finger on who, and then I said, it's a couple people all at once. And my take on it, the best I could come up with is a cross if you mix Brent Smith from Shinedown along with Robert Plant. What do you think? React to that.
I agree.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Plant, you know, for me he's one of my favorite singers of all time, and I think a lot of people would agree. And if you can even take a part of that and implement that into what you do, I think that's a good place to begin.
I think my favorite thing about Austin's vocals is, you know, it's really important to have a unique sound. And it's a kind of a good thing that you can't really put your finger on who exactly he sounds like or who exactly he's been influenced by, because I think that kind of helps us stand out amongst, you know, the crowd in a big way.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the things that drew me to your guys' band in the first place. So what's 2015 have for you guys planned? Are you going to be doing some touring? Are you starting to play in gigs now? I mean, my goodness, you already have 2 albums or an album and a half you can tour with, so what's up next?
I think we're just going to continue to write and play gigs, and like Austin said before, we just have a lot of material that we need to record, really, and we're always writing, and that's really kind of our main focus right now, is just getting as much material released and out there for people to buy as we can. And we're also, in the meantime, we're playing shows and coming up with, you know, merchandise ideas and anything that we can really get our name out there with. And we're just going to kind of continue on with that trend.
And you mentioned the EP was not quite out yet. Do you guys have a release date, or when can people maybe pick that one up?
Yeah, physical copies of our Holy Wars EP are actually available now on our official website, which is bluerising.net, but the official digital release is January 13th, and that'll be on iTunes, Amazon, and the Google Play Store.
Make sure you get out there and check out Blue Rising, and they're out of Bloomington, Indiana. Oh, one more thing I wanted to ask you. I didn't get to ask you. My favorite song still from you guys is Indecision. It's the favorite one. I don't know why. I just keep hitting repeat on that one a lot. Is there one song that is your local fans' favorite, the one you got to play last that they don't want to leave without hearing?
Well, I think it's pretty common for the songs the favorites to be different amongst our fans and amongst each other in the band. We all kind of disagree about what our favorites are, and it kind of varies from time to time. But one thing that's always common across all of our shows is we close with the song Paradigm, which is the closing track on our debut album, because if you've heard the song, it's got kind of a lengthy guitar solo and a kind of an epic outro, and it just works really well in a crowded bar where everybody's ready to rock. It's a good way to say goodbye.
That's awesome, man. Guys, this has been Blue Rising from Bloomington, Indiana. Guys, I really wish you the best this year. I'm a big fan of your music, and looking forward to big things from you guys in 2015. So thanks so much for being here on the show.
Thanks a lot.
Very much.
Thank you.